said, go ahead. And you know what he said? You know, I have traveled all around the world, and I have met Senegalese people everywhere. And they are very smart. But frankly speaking, when I came here, I was kind of discouraged.
So guys, samosa party is going on.
Very interesting topic today to be discussed. It will come just in a while, but have a look at these samosas that we are eating. And we have our friend from Senegal. And today it's a very important topic that we're going to discuss, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So see you in a while. Till the time we just finish our samosas, because these two men have already finished a lot and I've not even had a bite. So I'll just come back to you.
Please.
I am so excited because, you know, 4th April is Senegal's independence, and who can be better than this young man sitting next to me. He is the senior most person in our sports team. We go to the forest every week to exercise together, and he does better than us. So this young man is going to tell you the entire history of Senegal.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's go.
Yeah.
We have done a lot of homework. I have paper with me. He doesn't need any paper because, you know, he's the one who's going to tell you the entire history about Senegal. So, first of all, please introduce yourself. No, our people are so excited to know you.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Cissé, Shahmbake Cissé, retired English teacher from the civil service, but I'm still active because I'm still teaching in private schools in many renowned Senegalese institutes like CESAC.
Okay. Yes.
It's true that I'm not a historian, but I can tell you about Senegal history. As you know, we have 4 main stages. The first one is the period of kingdom, where you had Senegalese kings and queens. And after you had, we had the time of slavery, where we were dominated by the French. And it is good to know that the French were not the first people to come. You had the French, the English, and the Dutch. And finally, the French colonized Senegal. And this is the 3rd stage. And the last stage is the independence period. Then Senegal became independent in 1960.
1960, yes.
You know that before our independence, there was the time of slavery and the time of colonialism. But the difference of Senegal with other countries like Guinea, it was through negotiations that Senegal became independent. And we remember through history that when de Gaulle, the famous French president, came to Senegal to ask if they wanted to be independent. Okay, you know, the reaction of Guinea was different, because for the president of Guinea, the late Sékou Touré, there was no possible negotiation, and they cut off from France.
Okay.
But that's why Senegal became independent a bit later in 1960. And before that, Senegal was very active in the parliament of France, because Lamine Gueye used to be a member of parliament in France.
Wow.
And then he was so respected by the French.
I was just asking you, he was this member of parliament in France embassy. No, in France. Parliament.
Yeah. You know,
as he was representing Senegal.
Yeah, he was representing Senegal.
Okay.
You know, at that time, Senegal was part and parcel of France, because Senegal was a French colony.
Correct.
Then Lamine Gueye was the representative of West Africa in the parliament.
So Lamine Gueye was a guy who became a first president?
No. Senegal became independent in 1960, and the first president was Léopold Sédar Senghor.
Yes, the first time I came to Senegal, the airport name was on him, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Léopold Sédar Senghor was a bright intellectual, and he studied literature, and he is one of the most important, most famous poet in the world.
Poet? He was a poet?
Yeah, he was a poet.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a poet.
That's
And
nice.
he is member of the French Academy.
Wow.
I mean, he's a kind of I mean, a star.
Polish. He's a Polish guy.
Yeah, he's well known, I mean, in literature. And then when he came back to Senegal, okay, he got involved in politics.
Okay.
And he said himself that he was not interested in politics, but he was one of the founders of what he called the Negritude movement, defending the rights of the Negroes, defending the right of black people, and together with some other people from the diaspora, I mean, they had a movement, and this movement was very strong intellectually, and that's why they were obliged to get involved in politics to make it really lively.
So I understand till here, Lamine guy was already a member of parliament in France. He was representing India, and here this guy, his name,
Representing India?
Sorry, representing Senegal.
Senegal, yeah.
Sorry, I mixed up. See, there are a lot of similarity there, right? There are a lot of similarity. The Tiranga, they have Tiranga as a hospitality. We have Tiranga as our flag. So there are a lot of similarity.
Okay,
so I
let's
just
clear
away.
that out.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what is really specific with the history of Senegal? The first president, Léopold Sédar Senghor, was not Muslim.
Wow.
95% of the people in Senegal are Muslims, and he belongs to a minority.
Yeah,
he
man,
belongs to the
that's
5%, and he became president. Then he got the support of the Muslims.
Wow.
He got the support of the religious leaders,
Wow.
and that was his force. And he was very smart. He was a good, he was a good politician.
Good leader.
He was a good leader, and that's why, you know, Senegal has still been respected by all the people around the world.
So I have a question to ask.
Okay.
You said that Senghor, the first president of Senegal, was a Christian.
Yes.
And you know, 95% are Muslim,
Population.
and they still supported a Christian minority guy for
That is
running
beauty
the
of
presidency.
democracy, Senegal.
And there are other countries who struggle because of religion.
Exactly.
So can you just say something about that?
No, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. And let me just tell you a story. When he was doing his campaign, he went to Touba. Touba is one of the biggest religious city in Senegal. And the Zen Khalif was Serigne Fallou Mbacké. When he came, you know, they discussed, and he got the blessing of the Marabout, who told him, whoever is behind you or in front of you, you will be the president of Senegal.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's why, you know, he was really, loved by
So, but
Senegalese people.
Lamine guy, he never have a problem with that. He also was fighting for election.
No, you know, when they went to campaign, it is good to say that Senegal has a long history of democracy. Because when Lamine Gueye lost in front of Senghor, you know, it was not a problem. That's why Senegal has been, organizing, electoral campaigns for a long time. That's why we have this kind of stability. Senegal is one of the rare countries in Africa where there is no coup d'etat.
Okay.
No president has ever been overthrown in Senegal because we abide by the rules, we abide by the regulations. If you go to election and you win, okay, you are the winner, and if you lose, you accept it.
Yes.
And this is an exception in Africa. Yeah.
This
The
is
beauty of
amazing.
Senegal.
It's really amazing. Right. Okay, then when, to illustrate that Senghor is very smart, in the 80s, because he became president in 1960, he noticed that the younger generation did not really appreciate what he was doing, because that's quite normal. It was a problem of generation. When he felt it, he already had prepared somebody, for the succession.
Oh.
It was President Abdou Diouf. For many people, Abdou Diouf was not meant to be president because he was so quiet, so cool, so polite, but he was a good learner. He learned a lot from President Senghor. And, it was not election itself, but 2 years before the election, Senghor decided to resign.
Okay.
and then he gave the power
To him.
to continue for 2 years,
Wow.
just to get ready for the elections.
Wow.
And when he organized the elections, I mean, he won.
Wow.
That's why, you know, Abdou Diouf became president in 1980.
See, just
Until-
1 second. in between.
until-
Sorry, I'll interrupt. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
So the first guy was Lemon Guy, right?
No, no,
If
no,
I start with the
no.
politics, no, not a president, but the parliament. The
Parliament.
parliament representing Senegal.
Exactly.
Right. I'm understanding from the politics background.
Yeah.
The second guy was
The second
Leopold.
Senghor.
Senghor, wow.
Senghor. And the third then comes in the picture is
Diouf.
Diouf. Okay, and so third guy is the second president of Senegal, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Then
Just we have to see it. We are learning. We have to give exam also after. We have to tell, okay, what all we have learned out of it. Yes,
yeah, exactly. And then when Abdou Diouf became president from 1980 to 2000, and in 2000 he lost the election.
Okay.
He won the elections 3 times. But there is something that is worth knowing, because from 1980 to 2000, there was somebody who was the opposition leader, Abdoulaye Wade. Abdoulaye Wade is someone very special, because, you know, they did everything, I mean, to stop him, but no way. Abdoulaye Wade was a kind of a bold person, a kind of courageous person, because it wasn't evident at that time in Africa to have an opposition party.
Yes.
And in 2000, he became president.
Wow.
Wow.
And when he became president, there was a change in many respects,
Wow.
because Abdoulaye Wade is known not to have never worked for the administration, contrary to Abdou Diouf and to Senghor. And there was another way of leading. And some people are for, some other people are against.
Yeah.
People who are for him say that it is kind of cutting off from monotony. And for the other people, they say that Abdoulaye Wade is something who doesn't respect the administration. But he deserves a lot, because when he became president, we saw new things in Senegal.
It start happening in Senegal.
Everything you see here was built between 2000 and now.
Wow.
Wow.
I can name so many things. For example, if you take the highway, okay, the toll highway, it is Abdoulaye Wade.
Wow. We bring that.
Yeah, so many cities in Dakar, I mean, it's Abdoulaye Wade. But the problem is, there are some people who say Abdoulaye Wade know how to get funds, how to get money, but they find him a kind of spending money too much on social things. This is a problem. It's a matter of interpretation. But what people retain is that Abdoulaye Wade built a lot of things. But the problem is, in 2012, one of his former ministers, the current president, Macky Sall, yeah, you know, Macky Sall, so many people say that, you know, it never crossed his mind to be president of Senegal. Macky Sall, you know, became a minister, I think, in 2000 something, 2000.
But I heard this Abdoulaye Wade is the one who bring Macky Sall in politics, no? Is that
No,
correct?
Macky Sall was in politics. He was in politics, but he was in another opposition party.
Okay.
But when Abdoulaye Wade became president, or some years, or 1 year, 2 years before he became president, he joined his party. Okay. And then Abdoulaye Wade appointed him as minister X times.
Excellent.
And he even became the president of the parliament. But at a certain time, people were kind of suspicious about Abdoulaye Wade's attitude, because he wanted his own son, Karim Wade, to become president after him. And Macky Sall, he was the president of the parliament, and he decided to call the president's son, to ask him questions about his management. And the problem started. And not only was Macky Sall dismissed from the government, but there was something like, I mean, he was running a big risk. But for Abdoulaye Wade, Abdoulaye Wade is a Democrat. Because, he let him go. He didn't do anything, no harm. And Macky Sall formed his party. And it's unheard of what happened in less than 2 years. He had his party, and he suddenly became president.
Wow.
He became president. He became president because at that time, Senegalese people wanted to change. And that is something you need to know about Senegalese people. Senegalese people are very nice. They are very kind, very gentle, but they don't want to be looked down upon. They want to be respected. And people found Abdoulaye Wade's decision so bad. How can you decide yourself to ask your son to come to take the power after you? This was the biggest problem. People voted for Macky Sall not because they liked him, they loved him, because they were
showing a
it was a kind of solidarity. Senegalese people don't like injustice.
Okay.
We don't like injustice.
So guys, there is one common thing in Senegal and India, one name called Tiranga. Like for Senegalese, Tiranga means is hospitality, and as we Indian is our flag. Our flag name is Tiranga.
Yes, coming back to this, a lot of my viewers, they are all around the world, the Senegalese.
Exactly, every corner of the globe they are. I think someday when this March thing happen, they will be in Mars also.
For sure. I got the chance to go to Asia because I went to South Korea. Much to my surprise, I met a Senegalese who at that time lived there for years.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe it. And he speaks the language quite well. If you go to the United States of America, you can see Senegalese people everywhere and in every walk of the society.
Wow.
From university to, everything. And this is really impressive. And I'm going to tell you something, an anecdote. When I was getting the grant to go to the United States, I was interviewed by somebody at the embassy. And then I got the chance to pass. And after we met twice, 3 times. And then he asked me a question. He said, "Say, Sheikh, can I ask you a private question?" I said, "Go ahead." And you know what he said? I have traveled all around the world and I have met Senegalese people everywhere. And they are very smart. But frankly speaking, when I came here, I was kind of discouraged. I say, "Wow, why are you discouraged?" Because I was expecting to see better things. I say, "No, you are not frustrating me. You are right. It's not a problem. Senegalese people can adjust themselves in any society.
Any situation.
In any situation. But the problem here, if it is not like that, I'm not going to answer your question. Why? I know the answer, but I'm sure you too, you know the answer. You know the answer. And you guys, I think you know the answer."
So guys, I hope that this video really made sense, and I was so keen to listen to him because I was getting so many information about Senegal, how Senegalese people are, what Tiranga means, how many presidents and why those presidents, and what is the relationship between France and Senegal. So thank you, Mr. Sheikh, for being with us. I hope you enjoyed the Indian food and the Indian hospitality.
Yes, I did. It was very wonderful. And I see a kind of similarity between Senegal and India. This is something we should really say to everybody in the world. Now we don't have different countries. We are on the same planet. We are the same people, everybody. We are citizens of the world.
Yay! Happy Independence Day, Senegal. I'm wishing you all the best for your life and for your dreams ahead. And may Senegal cherish, flourish, and we flourish together.
Thank you very much.